I had to put my teeth back in. YouTube is live. It's the ghost of John Lumen. John Lumen! I just love how there's so many like hidden things, and then when you try to put in the console command to like understand what it doesn't fucking tell you anything. Ha 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 ha. Good time. Ha 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 ha. Anyways, I'm not too worried about that right now. I'm not too worried about that right now. We got shit to do. Why can't you call it a retainer like normal people? People don't know what that is. Or I call it teeth. I'm putting in my teeth. Good chub. Mortis with the 5 push-up redemption. Okay. Mods, put that guy on the list. Guy on the list. Put him on the list. I can't count. I don't know if that was 6 or 5. I was slightly concerned by you saying teeth, actually. Well, I say teeth, okay? I put in my braces. I put in my braces. I'm putting in my braces. My plastic braces. Played Street Fighter yesterday. Great game. Hey, hell yeah. Okay, is there anything else I should maybe know about? Yeah, if you turn off, well, you turn off ambient occlusion and some of the stuff here. Oh, they're using DirectX Mobile in here? So they're making their game look like dog shit, huh? For 1,900 FPS, yeah. Yeah, surely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is the field something that gets measured every frame? Distance fields, I'm pretty sure is every frame. I'm not sure though. You're asking the wrong guy. I'm not a graphics guy. I'm just a stupid guy that uses the engine. I'm just a dummy. We'll fix that ghosting one day. I don't think focusing on it right now is a good idea, especially considering it's a bunch of white boxes. Krim, you should write your own engine. I'm too dumb to do that. I literally don't know how to do that. I literally do not know how to do any of that. You start with Hello World. I'd rather change industries. I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather just change industry. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be real. The people that say you should make your own custom engine, I think I'd rather be in a different industry where I can actually, like, you know, not feel like I'm getting fucking punched in the face every day. I'd rather shower with a toaster. Yeah. More power to anybody who's able to make games while also making a game engine, or make a framework, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Power to them. Power to them. More power to them. I don't have a new haircut class. It's just my hair is a little different. Yeah, I don't really like developing engines. Well, I've never tried it, but I don't think I'd be into it because I just don't have the skills for it. I'd just work on games. I think the most I would do is do a custom fork of Unreal and then kind of go from there. That's it. That's probably as far as I'd go. Doing a custom fork and then... Oh, you know what? We can do the client prediction version of adding items to the inventory. Let's do that right now. Not that it's a huge deal, but I kind of want to just try it to test it. So when we loot an item... So here's my thought process. A client prediction version of an inventory, you would add the item to the inventory locally, but it would just be for visuals. And then the server would override that with its version. They're copying your other project? No, Fatekeeper, I'm pretty sure, their initial trailer has been out for a while. It looks cool. There's a lot of first-person melee games coming out, which is kind of why I'm like, you know, I don't know if I want to really go into that. It's just so challenging to make it feel good or even remotely okay. Okay, so on server item looted, we add item to the inventory, right? What I'm wondering, on remote, can we also add the item to the inventory on remote? Basically doing the same code, right? Do the same code. Will it immediately show the item in our inventory, but then update with the server-based version? Let's see. Or will it dupe it and cause 2 additions? Oh my god, it actually is updating it. So it's not duping it, it's updating it with the server version. So what we're doing is we're adding, we're doing it twice, which is I think what Gameplay Ability System would do anyways. It would do it on the client and then override it with the server versions array. So one thing I don't like currently is the inventory will always start from left to right rather than keeping the slot that the item was in. That is something I would like to change. So if I drop all of our items, it'll just keep going to the first slot. I would like to change that and make it so we can scroll wheel and select the actual item that we're currently holding. So that would probably be one of our steps. Why do you need to do that? The server one is fine. So it's for client prediction, I guess, or giving more power to the client. So not power to the client. It's so the client feels that they've have immediate satisfaction when clicking an event. If we don't do that, it takes like 30 milliseconds for it to update on the client side. So I'll show you what it is like without that. Without doing that. This is what it looks like. And I'll show you the difference between server and client. So do you guys see this in the corner, or is it too small? Okay. So when I pick it up, you'll see it disappear because we have one thing that like sets it to hidden, but look at the hotbar. Look how delayed it is. It's not a huge deal, but I do think it's not like great. Now look at it on the server. Even dropping is instantaneous. You can hear me click the drop button. We don't have any sort of client prediction for dropping yet. So look at what happens when I do this. There's a delay to it. It's so ass. So what we're doing is on the client side, we actually still add it to the inventory, but we don't actually use that. It's just for visuals. The server is going to override it with its proper version. So now we get that instant gratification that, hey, we picked up the item. And it still just keeps the server version. Now, I am going to have to figure out the hotbar. So that's going to be the next fucking piece of the puzzle. Next piece of the puzzle, hotbar. Figure out client predicted dropping. How the fuck are we going to do that? I saw someone online. So someone online I saw, they would drop the item instantly on the client. But then they would, once the server catches up, they would replace the client item version with the server version. I don't know how the hell we would I don't know how we would do that. I literally don't know how would I do that? Do I keep a reference to the dropped version? Yeah, they have. So when they drop the item, because there's a slight delay when you drop an item because it's calling to the server to drop the item and spawn the item in the world, they create a client version, which is like a fake version of the item. And then once the server catches up with the client, because there's like a 30, 40 millisecond kind of delay, they delete the client fake version and swap it out with the actual item version. So it's a local version. This is multiplayer. This is literally... That's stupid. Yeah, well, welcome to multiplayer. That's literally what... So what I'm learning is, yeah, you could do everything run on server, but the clients are going to have, like, the laggiest fucking experience because everything's going to be delayed because they're going to have to wait for the server to do everything. So I think all of it really comes down to client prediction. Which is, yeah. Soon Crim's going to be dealing with quantum entanglement. Yeah, like I'm not too worried about it right now. I think I'm more worried about our hotbar and then making sure that items can stay in the specific spot that they're equipped. And then we can kind of go from there. I think that would be the main thing that I'd want to do. So hotbar system select so hotbar system selecting specific slot, selecting hands / free slot, selecting specific slot, selecting hands / free slot, drop current selected slot. Okay. Yeah. Should be the same object here and here. So server usually syncs back state of things without fake items. I just don't know how we would do that. Because the thing is, when you do something on the server, you have to spawn that actor on the server. We can't spawn an actor on the client and then it catches up on the server side. Like the server has to spawn its own version that is the actual replicated version. The client can't spawn actors. It can't spawn replicated actors themselves. So we have to create a client version that then gets overwritten by the server version. Yeah. Of course, you could build your own custom engine to improve the cluttering like Unreal or Unity, just adding what you want, but other than that, it's not useful. The problem is then how long does it take to actually build that? You know what I mean? Like, and you're going to need the skills to maintain your own custom engine. At the end of the day, it just puts all the responsibility into your own hands, right? Which is fine for some people. I'm sure other people actually prefer that. I would like to learn C++ to have a little bit more responsibility, so I can take things into my own hands. But yeah, oh, Golden. Hardstyle music? Oh shit, you going back. Hardstyle. Dude, I remember I used to listen to hardstyle so much. Trying to work with multiplayer prediction UEFI right now. I have an actor-derived class that has a replicate flow property. Players can change the property to interact with the actor. I don't want the change to reflect instantly for the client. On the server, the input is also ran and changes the back to all connected clients. However, using a replicated variable means I'm overriding the variable on the client. The client predicts the variable, so I get some bad behavior with fast and lag inputs. At the end of the day, the client needs a confirmation that the thing worked or not. Cannot assume its new local state is valid. Server needs to send some data back to represent either the final state or the states along the way. That's a use case. Yeah, it basically seems like what I would assume for like the item dropping stuff is you create a client-side version of the item and then kind of go from there. Multiplayer networking resources. Hi, yeah. This is just general networking. I don't think it's necessarily just for Unreal. This seems like a rabbit hole, but I do like it. I'm gonna keep this open. I'm gonna keep that open. Oh, is this the Halo Reach talk? Yeah. The grenade. I remember the grenade. Yes, I do remember that. Yeah. Multiplayer is so interesting, man. 11K karma. Look at Mr. Redditor. Yeah, who cares about that? I still listen to hardstyle. That's okay. You'll grow up. I'm kidding. You know, from time to time, hardstyle slaps. Don't get me wrong. Hardstyle, hard dance, whatever fucking subgenre you want to call it. Sometimes it do slap. I'll admit. So, someone asked earlier if I'm doing the items as structs. So the items are data assets, but in the actual inventory, they are an array. The problem with this is, so here's the thing. I think on server side, we do not care which slot the item is in. But on client side, how do we determine which slot an item is in? Do we make a map of integer and integer? So we could say integer 0 could be in slot 0, or integer 1 is in slot 0. And then integer 1 would be a reference to the actual item. That's so confusing. Yeah, I'm trying to picture what would be the best way of doing it. Because at the end of the day, the actual slot the item is in, the server does not care which slot you put it in. At the end of the day, that's just the client. That's the client figuring out their own organization of items. The only thing the server cares about is what items you have. Do maps even work in multiplayer? That's the thing. We don't need it to. We don't need the map to work on multiplayer. The slot organization is only going to be client side for like the HUD and whatnot. And then when we drop an item, we would just tell the server, hey, this is the current item that we have hovered, or the current slot that we have hovered. I just started game dev and trying to wrap my creaseless brain around that is not happening right now. Okay, multiplayer is a different beast. Don't even bother with multiplayer. Don't bother with multiplayer for a while. Yeah. Spent years learning and building a framework for this stuff. Yeah, you know, I'm learning too. I'm here learning, man. I'm here learning. I learn by doing. I'm sure there's many better ways of doing things, but fuck it. Brain power lacking for the many friend games. Don't get me wrong. My brain is not there yet either. Don't get me wrong. I'm learning this stuff while I go as well. So I guess on the inventory component, we can have a thing called inventory slot organization. So it'd be an integer as a map with another integer. Game dev is hard. Multiplayer game dev just makes everything harder. I don't know if I'd say it makes it harder. It just, like, yeah, it's hard. I think it just adds more confusion and complexity. I think there's one rule I would actually tell people is don't go in multiplayer. Go in single player first. Figure out how stuff can be done locally. And then once you feel like you're confident enough, then you can start diving into networking. Because networking is almost like you're treating, you're looking at things and it's like 3D chess. It's 3D chess, all right? It becomes 3D chess. Or we could have the map already created for all of the slots. And then -1 could be defined as there is nothing in this slot currently. That could be another way of going about it. How's multiplayer going to be split screen or online screen? This is going to be all online, not split screen. Split screen can technically almost be treated as local in some ways, kind of. There's still some different workflow stuff you got to manage, but you can kind of treat it locally, I believe. But you're still going to be kind of dealing with different player characters and whatnot. So that would be the difference there. Took me ages to wrap my head around the fact that it doesn't matter what happens on my map as a client, as long as something different is happening on the server. Yeah. 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 Because if you have something that's already in the map, the client has their own version of that, unless it's set to replicated and you have a bunch of shit set up there so that other clients get the same information on their client-side version of the object, which is why I've been toying around with this. We have an in-world door that's in here by default, which technically means I think this is the client's version, I believe. And then, which I think what did I do to change that? I swear I did some shit. I don't remember what I did. Oh yeah, I had to multicast it instead. And then I tried out a different version, which is a spawner spawns it on the server, which then gets replicated to the clients. So I was like messing around with that to see like what's the difference there and whatnot. Yeah, fun times. Fun times. Okay, slot organization. Which method is better? I feel like having the slots already there would be good. I'm a bit confused. Your game seems to be a hit, but you talk like you're just getting started. I have one hit, one kind of hit. Part of it, like, even though it's a hit, I do think I'm still there's still a lot of things I have to learn. Many things. Multiplayer, though, is definitely a different world. Crimson's a professional noob. I am never going to act like someone who has a higher authority over things. I'm always going to have... Now, I'm sure... So, I don't know how much you guys agree with this. There was a video I watched... There was a video I watched that talked about... I think I'm going to have it so everything is kind of already there. Oh, great. It talked about... what was I saying? It talks about, like, how to get people to listen to you, I guess, or whatever, to get people to be interested in your stuff. And it was interesting thinking about that, because I was like, oh, it makes sense why people like Pirate Software get so popular. It's because they speak with a level of authority or like a utmost confidence, right? And they're like, you should avoid words like and, you know, various words and whatnot. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, but also I don't want people to think that I'm, you know, I don't have, yeah. Yeah. What do you think about pirating games? Listen, if someone has money, buy the game, or whatever game that you're looking at. I can't fight it. There's no fighting pirating as much as you try. So I don't give a shit. It's like, whatever. So yeah, I just kind of gave up on it. I think there was a moment in time where I was like, oh, you know, I'll make sure Google doesn't recommend the things, and then Google kept recommending it, and I'm like, you know what, this is just a fucking losing battle. I don't have a legal team. I'm not gonna waste my time or money on this. It's whatever. It's kind of like whatever. So -1 would represent a open slot. I don't know if this is the right way to do this, but let's do it anyways. Wait, I just... When we drop an item, we have to refresh the entire slot organization. Oh no, that's not going to work. That's not going to cut it. When we drop an item, let's say we drop our first item, it's going to make everything null. I'm not against pirating in specific cases, like some countries that might not be able to afford it. It's one of those things that I actually just think having an opinion on is like a losing battle. You have an opinion for it, you lose against a party. You have an opinion for it, against it, and it's a losing battle. So I'm just kind of like, I don't care for it, you know? Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. Multiplayer is perfect for fighting pirating. Like, yeah, I'll probably do like a Steam check. Like, you need Steam to work in the clients, and I think most of that is more for safety for other players and security, especially if there's like especially if there's like a random lobby system. I don't want people that pirate the game to be able to go in there, because then they could just, you know, that could just cause a security issue for a lot of people. So it's like, I think that makes more sense to make it so there's an authenticity check. But there's so many, dude, I've seen so many YouTube videos and some streamers play an old version of the game, and that's like a huge telltale that they are using a pirated version. That was a thing for a long while. We have tons of people that have come into the Discord and be like, hey, how do I fix this bug? And it's like, brother, you're using an old version of the game. You probably are running a pirated version. And by old, I mean 6 months old versions. It's like, oh, you know, I don't know if you kept the game without updating it for 6 months. Maybe, yeah. And then suddenly talked about, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. I guess that's actually the more annoying thing, is the fact that people come in with a pirated version and are like, hey, I have this bug. Please fix. It's like, at that point, I'm like, hey, can the fucking pirates update the damn game, please? Can they update it on the website? Jeez, man. You're going to make me do their fucking job. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay, slot organization. So the way I was thinking of doing this is definitely not going to work. Because every time that we drop an item, we're going to have to update the entire organized slots. Crimson not updating the pirated versions. I'm about to do it myself. Yeah, I just don't have an opinion on it anymore. I actually think it's just a losing battle having an opinion on it. I don't know. Is there some word for that? I'm a loser. What if we, on the inventory, just have 6 empty slots right off the bat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here to Ark. A fence sitter. I don't know if I'd say it's a fence sitter. I feel like you don't necessarily need to be like on a side. I'm just like, I've been on both sides of anti-piracy and for piracy, and at some point I'm just kind of like, I've seen both sides. I've seen the negativity of both sides. It's kind of like, I've seen the positives and negatives of both sides, and I'm kind of like, you know what, man? You live your life, you know, whatever. Look at what I just found in the Suit for Hire channel. Yeah, no, it's gonna get the 4 years old version of the free download. Yeah, no, you can definitely just find a bunch of them. I would not download any of them though. I would recommend not downloading any of them for security. Okay. I don't know how to do this inventory slot structure. Do we have empty items and then we fill them in whenever an item is actually picked up? Are you suggesting people buy your game instead of a download from some random site? Well, no, I'm just saying, like, be careful. Will Super Mario make it to GOG at some point? I don't know. I have no idea. Hell, I haven't been even doing any work on getting it to consoles as of late, even though I have some of the stuff down for the Xbox dev kit stuff, so yeah. You know what's great about Blender 5? All my settings got changed, my add-ons don't work, and they changed vulnerable things, so now I have to learn it again. Brother, don't even switch to Blender 5. Like, what benefits does Blender 5 have? So, what do I do? Do I have a separate variable for keeping track of which slot everything is in, or do I do this, or I keep a bunch of empty null references? Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. I think it should be done on the client side. But then the problem is we need to keep track of... Then here, in the slot organization, needs to keep track of everything. Which is psycho. Super psychopathic. Some super psycho shit. The Steam version of Blender auto updates you. I fixed that by doing this. Go to your Blender, hit properties, go to betas, and you'll see the beta versions here. I just switched to v4.1 and now it doesn't update anymore. Yes! So now I don't have to deal with silly updates that I don't really care about, and then it just breaks all my add-ons that I need for production. Do I want to try putting Super Mario on PlayStation 5? I'd have to go through the whole Sony onboarding process, and yeah, I don't really want to bother with that right now. So yeah. Fane, thank you for the raid. How's it going? Thank you. Why download Blender through Steam? Don't ask me these questions. I don't know why. I don't remember why I did, okay? I just do. Oh, hey, they are at least updating it. Oh, hey, like, look at that. V1.0.14.1. Hey, they're updating it. Good job, pirates. Five push-ups? Motherfucker. This motherfucker. All right, fine. And then I'll try to think about how I'm going to do this damn slot organization. Oh my god. Oh my god. Make it 10? Yeah, good luck. You got a 5-minute cooldown. People with pirate games never intend to buy the game anyway? I don't know. I'm not going to speak for people. I don't know. Hey, thank you, Fan. Appreciate it. Yeah. Get some rest. Get some rest. I get you. He makes some people forgetting about it after 5 minutes. Gabe says it's more about prices too high for them. Yeah, if it's more than $1, then it's too high. How much is the train slot game going to cost? I think I put it at $9 currently. We'll see how that goes, because most of the good like friend slot games are definitely $10 or less. Because what you're basically banking on is a full crew of friends buying the game. right? And a full crew of games, the higher the price is, the lower chance your friends are going to purchase a game. So if you have a friend swap game set at $8, gross revenue, we would assume 4 friends would buy it. So you do 8 times 4. And then that's kind of like the equivalent of someone purchasing like what's 8 times 4? 8, 16, 32? $32 in gross revenue. Now, of course, that's in a perfect world. You got currency conversions and all these other things, right? So different regions and whatnot, but yeah. So I think that's the perfect number, is under $10 for friend swap games. It's funny because that kind of goes against the... It's funny because friend swap games kind of go against the... there's like this there's this psychological concept where a game that's under $10, people will look at it a certain way and be like, oh, but what's the quality of this like? You know what I mean? But I think friend swap has kind of solidified its position as like being under $10, I guess, is kind of like the general idea for that. And people, I guess, kind of know what they're going into with it, I suppose. Like, let's see, what was what's that other train game? Mimesis? 13 Canadian, which I'm pretty sure is 9 USD. This trailer is great, by the way. But how is it only mostly positive? I think from what people said, it's doesn't do enough to be different enough against games like Repo and Lethal Company. Oh, is the only monster the mime? Is that the only monster, is the mime? Okay. How are we gonna do the slots? What's really annoying is that our array changes numbers, so we'd have to keep updating this for every single slot, not just even a singular slot. We don't care on server side which slot it goes into. Like, we shouldn't. It should just be, that should be just a client side thing. Like, the server does not need to know which slot everything is in. And plus, maps are not, I don't think you can replicate a map. You cannot. It's literally grayed out. So we can find a way of doing it like this, then I think we're set. And then maybe we just find a way of updating it. Maybe we just find a way of updating it. Yeah. Maybe we just find a way of updating it. I have no idea how we're going to do it, but we'll find a way. Okay. Let's open up our HUD, because this is going to be very integral to all of this working. We also need to find a way of, I guess, enabling the mouse input to allow us to drag items around. That's going to be pretty important. Maybe the button will be like tab or something. Where's my HUD? Oh, it's here. Okay. Great, we're gonna have to deal with drag and dropping. That's not gonna be fun. Can't wait to deal with that. That's gonna be very good. Let's get started with this then. Let's go in the controller. Kim, if you add Gooner stuff, you'll get more sales. No, no gooning. No gooning. No gooning here. No gooning. No, I don't think so. No gooning. What did you tab for now? On press, show mouse cursor. On release. Release. Now we're gonna have to do more work with this, but let's just do this. Too bad I'm gooning. Mods? Okay, we need to make it so when we hit tab and we show the mouse cursor, I guess we do set game input game and UI. We might want to flush input. Let's see. Set input mode game only. Okay. I love drag and drop sequences. Let me remember how to do drag and dropping. Can I remember it off the top of my head? We'll find out. We'll find out if I remember how to do drag and dropping on my own. Let's see if I remember how to do drag and dropping. I might actually have to make the item a different widget. If I remember correctly, you have the background and then the thing on top, and I think they both need to be completely different widgets to start doing drag and dropping, because I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Let me open up a tutorial. I ain't gonna do this on my own. Hold on. Drag and drop widget. I swear I followed a tutorial way back that was like a really good tutorial. Was it the... I wonder, was it the... Was it the documentation? I guess we'll find out. On mouse button down, on drag detected. Detect drag if pressed, drag widget. Create drag widget. Create widget drag. Well, drag drop operation. That's a whole ass object. Oh yeah, I remember this. Okay, I do remember this. I wonder if there's a built-in widget actually for drag and drop process. I swear I remember seeing them. I don't know to like how useful they were at all. No, maybe not. I swear there was like a built-in way of doing drag and drop stuff, like an actual widget for it, but don't think so. All right, well, here we go. So let me follow this tutorial real quick then. We're going to need an object called drag drop operation. Great. Drag and drop operation. Fantastic. We'll call this BP underscore hotbar drag drop op. Drag drop operation. Drag drop op. Tag payload drag visual pivot. Okay, fun stuff. Fun stuff. Expose on spawn, which I actually don't know if that actually works. Maybe it will. And then drag offset. Sure. Sure. Which is a vector 2D. Assuming is also instance editable. Of course it is. Of course it is. How you doing, Bane? Another stream. Another stream. Another stream. Widget reference? Wait, why are we creating the widget reference on the drag widget as well? Wait. What? What do you mean? How long have you been streaming that you managed to get to 51 viewers? Been here since 2017. I've been here longer than that. been here longer than that. He was a Justin TV dude. I used to watch on Justin TV, but then it transitioned to Twitch during that time. I think both were existing at the same time. Yeah, I don't look at the view count. I gave up on that stuff. I'm just glad that people chat. that's my biggest thing I could be happy about. In 2 years, it'll be 10 years since I followed you. Holy moly. Holy moly. Holy moly. Okay, so we need an on mouse button down and on drag detected. Okay, here we go. Now, here's the thing. We're probably going to have to duplicate this and have two separate widgets. One that is the container, which is the image or the item, and the other being the background. Because I'm pretty sure we can't do this separately. I'm pretty sure we can't do it all as one whole thing. So, yeah. Can you gift me Sue for Hire for the 10-year follow-versary? No. No. Nope. Can't do that. Nope. Because if I gift it to you, then I'm going to have to gift it to anybody else that asks. Promoted variable. So wait, they want us to create a drag offset from this as well? Okay. Okay, I'm unfollowing Beast. People just want money these days. They want things. They want monetary things these days. It's crazy. Anyone have any clips of Crim from 8 years ago? I hope you don't. Please no. Will this only detect if the drag is actually on the item? What is this video? Oh god, Crimson's Fantasy from 6 years ago. This is not actually that old of a... Like, it's an old video, but it's not that old. Oh god, what's with my hair? Where was I? This... I think this is the California arc. The Cali arc. But that's not my oldest video. I remember YouTube back when it had the star rating system. Oh yeah. You remember when banners used to be a thing that you had to like become a partner or whatever for? You had to become like, I don't forget what they called it. I think it was partner. I think it was partner. YouTube partner. Only people that could have a banner were people that were partnered. You had to get like verified and everything for that, and you had to have a certain amount of subscribers. Krim, are you married yet? You don't need to know that. You don't need to know that. Oh, right. Yeah, we need a drag widget. Fuck. I need the widget. No! Oh, this is poopy shit. Can I just make the widget some random box for now? Just so we can... I don't know. Let's just make a random thing. UI thumbstick. Yeah. Yeah. No, let's just do it properly. Ugh, poopy shit. The fuck is this? The hell is this? Widget preview? What the hell is that? I keep clicking on an accident too. What the hell is that? What's that for? Nobody needed that. What is What the hell is that? All right, let's just do a hotbar item, which is just the image for now. Although I guess we maybe want to wrap this with a size box. Just adding shit to add shit. Real. Unreal, actually. Actually, unreal. Widget reference on the drag widget. Wait, what? So the drag widget needs a widget reference. So I think I put that in the hotbar slot. No, I did not. Where did I put the widget reference? I swear I put widget reference somewhere. I don't know where I put that. Where did I put that in the hotbar drag operation. Ah. Hello, oh great developer. Can you help me today? It depends. It depends. Depends. And then we create a widget drag. Hold on, I'm trying to remember how to fucking do this shit. Wait. What does the monitor with bolt mean? Is that run on owning client or run on that's run on owning client, right? Or run on server? Let's see if it works at all. We can technically make do without all the clients. We just need this on one client. Good news. I'm seeing something happen. And then it immediately disappears. Don't know if you guys can see that. Something is happening. My guess is that this image is set to visible and it loses focus. I'm making guesses now. We're making guesses. We're making estimated. We're making some guesses. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's immediately disappearing, which is alarming. Let's wrap this with a size box. And let's say 6464. It's possible that because there's no size box, maybe it's like losing I gotta learn how to profile widgets. Just realized something. I put that in the wrong spot. The offset's supposed to be 0. Aha! Aha! Ah! 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 Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Now, I do see a payload, which is an object reference. Yes. Yes. Very good. Yes, yes, yes. So we can just pass over the current data asset. That can be the payload. And then inside of the... Hold on. I don't understand why we're doing a widget reference to this. I don't understand what the reasoning is for having a widget reference. Like, I really... I wish I fucking knew. Let me see. On drag. Okay, I see. I understand. I understand what it's doing. Okay, I think from here on out, I can probably just do my own thing. But I'm going to keep it open for the drop, for when we need to do dropping. But I'm going to be honest, some of these stuff in here, I just don't fucking need at all. So the drag operation has a payload option. What kind of variables do you have on dragged? Widget reference. So the widget reference is self. We want the default drag visual. This drag visual, I'm assuming, is a reference to the dragged widget. Then we can get the payload. Then the payload can cast to the lootable item data asset. What's really annoying is that this has to do a bunch of cast tos, but either way, it's already sending the information anyway, so it's like not a huge deal. This is the image 26, which is a variable. So what we can do is cast to hotbar item. This is going to get the item icon. It technically should be loaded already. So I think if we resolve it, I think this should work. I don't know because it's already technically loaded. Could be wrong. I haven't done too much soft object stuff in a while. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, man. How would you make a noise sound detection system for enemies? Player makes a sound, an enemy. Look into perception. You can look into perception. I will say one thing though. As you use perception, you are probably going to find a period of time where you are like, wow, this fucking sucks, and it's kind of hard to modify myself, and I kind of just want to do my own thing. But at least for a starting point, you can use perception. At least for noise, I feel like you should make your own visibility system. I've done that before, like with sight, because you don't really get too much control out of it, but look into perception. It's a whole component and everything, and it's a relatively good start for all of that. Now, does it work in multiplayer? I don't know. Is it time to play the Half-Life series now that people are suggesting Half-Life 3 may be coming soon? You should just play it anyways if you haven't played Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. I haven't played Half-Life 1, actually. I will say. I've only played Half-Life 1, Part 1, and Part 2. And I played it with friends. It was like a modded version. I forgot what it was called. Yeah, I have not played Black Mesa. Unless maybe that was what I played. Maybe Black Mesa was what I played, which was multiplayer. I don't know. Okay, so we have the thing setting the thing, and then we have the thing on the thing. Very good, very good, very good. I don't know why everything got moved around. Thank you, Unreal. It's like you suddenly moved it in the spot where the tutorial moved it. So now it's more consistent. It's like, what the fuck? I do think some of these widgets are... kind of unnecessary, but I guess whatever. Okay, so we have our drag and drop operation. Our drag and drop operation. Let's start with one thing. Let's start with dropping the item. If you drag the item, outside, maybe we would assume this is you wanting to drop the item, right? I feel like that's a good assumption, right? If you drag the item outside of the UI, that's like you wanting to drop the item entirely. So I think on drop, where do we put on drop? Oh, they're setting the visibility to visible on the canvas panel. Wait, no, why are they... Is the on drop inside of the main... Where would we want an on-drop operation? Would it be inside of the HUD? Let's just see here. Called when the user is dropping something onto a widget. So would this define, hold on. So let's say I drop it into the main HUD. I see. Drop is only if it's dropped inside of the bounds of the thing that you're dropping in. If you drop here, it's not going to call it because on dropped. Okay, so we want two places we want to drop to occur. The hotbar slot needs its own drop operation. So I'm going to say dropped in slot. That'll be our print string here. But on the HUD is where things are going to get real interesting. We want on dropped inside of the HUD to be a little different. Now, it would be interesting to know where we're dropping. So let's just try this out really quickly. I guess we'd want the overlay to be, I guess, visible, which is crazy to think. No, let's try this real quick. Hold on. Have I done drag and drop stuff before? I remember doing it. Shit. It's reading it twice because, yeah, fuck. Let's just do visible on the overlay, which is crazy. Can I check which HUD we dropped it into or which object we dropped it into? I've done drag and drop before. I don't know why I did or like what I was using it for. I don't 100% remember what it was for, to be honest. But I remember doing this process before, I think. I just don't remember at all what I was doing. So we're casting to the hotbar drag and drop operation. I want to see, does this have a variable? Let's go ahead and show all inherited variables. No. Oh, shit. Okay. I am going to want to know if we dragged on top of, like where we dragged on top of. That's going to be pretty important, I think. Make me mod? You actually asked. This is the first time chatter message. Oh, that's really funny. That's a good one. Make him mod. Hey, how about you make me mod, okay? Ugh. Pointer event. Can we check which... I feel like we should be able to check like where we are in the drag. Checks to see if this widget is the current mouse captor. I want to see if this works. False. False. Hovered? Is hovered. Oh, wait. Wait, hold on. False. False. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You know, well, okay, maybe this can't be done. Nah, it's gotta be. Nah, we gotta. There has to be a way to check if we are hovered over the overlay. I don't know how to check where we are dropping. Can you just do a drop zone? That's something I was thinking about. I was thinking like we could have a dedicated widget in an actual spot and then we just check if we're hovering over that, and we definitely could. I'm just curious if we could do it like anywhere that's just outside of the zone. We can, so what's really annoying is because we can capture the slot perfectly fine. It's just when we capture the overlay, it's capturing everything, including children. We could do something hacky where we can check if you are near the center of the screen or above a certain Z location. And that would be one way of doing it. That's one way of doing it. You know what I mean? So that would be one way of doing it. I feel like pointer event should tell us like where we are, though. You know what I mean? Like, I swear there's a thing in here that should check where we are. You know? Tomato Town? We dropping tomato? I always drop tilted. I ain't no pussa. Wait, is under location? Is this like a absolute coordinates? But can we do under location like a nearby location? I swear there's a way of checking. Get input event from... No. Alas. Mouse cursor under whatever thing. Maybe there is a operation. Yeah, but this notifies the whole widget, which is kind of annoying. Ah! Poopy! Balls! Yeah, we might just have to create like a background or something. Yeah, well, yeah, well, yeah, well. It would be nice if we just do it on drop, though. Can we get which hover? Yeah, it's just weird. Is hover doesn't get called true on an overlay. Let's see what we have exposed to us. What do we have exposed to us? It's so weird. Is hovered doesn't play on a let me hold on. Maybe it just doesn't play it because we're in a drag and drop operation? Maybe that's what's going on. I want to see something. Oh, yep. 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 I thought we set this to not hit testable. It's not. It is. Everything is. But it's still counting it as a hover is hover event. Oh, that kind of sucks for us. That kind of sucks. That it eats up. Maybe there's a function for that. Override. There has to be a way to ignore the hover event on a... I think even if we do a custom widget, it's not going to count because it's always just going to be eaten by the... the drag and drop event. So, yeah, I think we're going to need a custom, like, box just for this shit. Well, that's okay. You know what? If anything, maybe that's good for us, because then we don't have to care about a drop event. Well, okay. I guess another widget. I suppose. Widget blueprint underscore drop, item hotbar drop zone. And then we'll make this a I guess we can make it a button. For now, let's just do a border. Border, copy the brush color, paste the brush color, give it a lower opacity, slap an image in here, in the center. I don't know. What's an item? What looks like drop? Maybe there's a drop in here. Nope. Let's see, just a random icon. Maybe an X, just a random X. What does the eject icon look like again? Maybe we could do the eject icon. Here's a cross, just a red X. You know, yeah, okay. If we don't find anything in the next 30 seconds, maybe we just use that then. That beautiful red cross, the red X. X. Let's see here. Got a bunch of whatever the fuck that is. What is that? You see this shit? The hell is all of these? Dict. There's a lot of them. There's even more. There's more dicts. What are these dicts? It's for substrate. Get this the fuck out of my engine. Wait, hold on. Wait, reopen the preview? Wait, I want to see what the image size of this. Wait, show me the image size of this. Please tell me this is not getting packaged. I can't. I can't preview over it. It's just, it won't work. Is there like a secret spot? Where's the spot on this dict? Whatever. The red cross is starting to, oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. I swear there's an eject button, or an eject icon. We could definitely use the eject icon. Ah, wait, hold on. Why is there an Apple iOS? That's probably for like the... I'm wasting my time. Let me see if there's a cross. There you go, we're fine. What engine are you using? I'm scared as fuck to update my project 5.7 with the new substrate as default. You could probably just disable substrate. I'm on 5.6 though. I probably won't move to 5.7 until like... until I'm 100% certain that they like release a hot fix and everything is like feeling where I want it to be. So we want the drop zone. So one thing I'm not happy about is a lot of this is currently not very layout friendly. I'm kind of hard coding a lot of shit. It's not, don't get me wrong. I don't want to be doing this. Okay. All right. I don't want to be doing this. Do not get it twisted. But it is what we're doing. The size box isn't even 5/12. What the shit, man? What number is this? Oh, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. This is fine. It's fine. All right. So the beauty about this is we don't want this to appear unless you are drag and dropping. This shit isn't centered, is it? How the fuck? Oh, this is a very odd error. Need to use more canvas panels? Canvas panels are not good. They're not good. Avoid canvas panel at all cost, if possible. Okay, now that we have our beautiful drop zone, the drop zone. Now when we drop into the drop zone, we'll be able to, well, get a reading from it. So now the question is, we only want the drop zone to appear when we are dragging an item. Or maybe we only make it appear if you're dragging over top of it. Because the thing that's really annoying is well, maybe in the drag and drop operation. Ah, fuck it. Just whatever. Just quick. Come on, quick. Get this shit going. I can't get a player controller in here. This is it's an object. Can I not get the player controller? I guess I can get the owner of this. Nope, I can't even get the owner. Okay, this is a weird place. This is the this place is weird. This is a weird place. I don't know where I am. We have the payload. We have the drag visual. The drag visual is associated with the... We have the widget reference, but the widget reference is actually referencing the hotbar slot. We could do those, get the widget reference and get the parent widget. Pretty sure we can get the parent, and then the parent would be the HUD. Then we can cast to the player HUD. It's receiving as a panel. I don't remember how to do... Get the parent widget of the widget, which receives a panel, and then... No, there's definitely a better way of doing this. I think we just say when something is dragged over top of this, we set it to visible. Otherwise, no, I kind of want it so it's like when you're dragging an item, this appears. So I guess what we could do is the hotbar slot. We can call it here. My overriding on dropped. I'm not worried about on dropped right now. I'm not worried about on dropped right now. It's not what I'm worried about right now. Are items going to be floating things that drop on the ground, or will they be physical items? I'm assuming they're going to be physical. We don't know. I don't know yet. Because I would like them to have a little bit of physics associated with them. Let me do something. Let me print string whatever this panel widget is. If it'll even print string. Oh, the direct panel of that is the horizontal box. So what? Yes. What if I get the parent of the parent? What then? That should give us player HUD. Size box. Yes, but what if, what if I get the parent of the parent of the parent? This doesn't feel right, but now we get the horizontal box. But then what if we get the parent of the parent of the parent of the parent? Yes. 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 Yes, that should give us the overlay. But then what if we get the parent of the parent of the parent of the parent of the parent? We should, there should be a way to get the actual true parent, right? Like, this doesn't, this is some ancestry shit right here, okay? And now we get nothing. Wait. Get. Wait, hold on. There you go. That seems, this seems more fucking reasonable and not psychotic. Seems a little bit more reasonable and not so psychotic. How am I setting the size and position of the widgets in my main HUD if I'm not using Canvas? I'm using a size box, which helps a little bit. There we go. And then we get the player HUD. And then from here, when we do a drag operation, we can set the drop zone, we can set it to visible. Yes. And then we can take this and then on drop, we can set this to hidden, or I guess collapsed. So, let's go default, collapsed, compile, hit save, okay. So, here's the idea. Well, that shouldn't happen. That's good. It's not calling the drop event. I'm assuming that in the parent function, something is going on that is causing it to get deleted, and therefore the event doesn't follow through. I was really hoping event drop would call this. I think... it should. Let's see here. Hold on. Hotbar slot. I don't know why this is not. Or oh, maybe it's calling drag canceled. Oh, that would make sense because it's not. It didn't successfully drop on anything. Ah, that's the one. So now let's make it so the drop zone has a on drop. Let me double check. On drop, Correct. Okay. And let me double check. Dropped in slot. Dropped in drop zone. Dropped in the drop zone. Seems really small though. I ain't gonna lie. The drop zone kind of tiny. Let's make the drop zone a little larger. Yeah, that's a good looking drop zone. Setting my side box 1920 by 1080. No. This I only do for like specific sizing stuff. So then it stays conformed no matter the resolution and whatnot. Yeah. So what did they do? They cast to the drag operation. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. I want to do the drop. I want to do the drop zone first. Just because like that's the easiest thing we can do right now is like just doing the drag and dropping again. And then we should get the index of which inventory item this is associated with. But yeah, we should. But yeah, we should. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. But for now, we're just going to get which item it is. And we get that by the data asset, which is the payload. So we get the payload. So the client needs to call on server player drop item, which is on the player character. We we should also probably we need to associate which item to drop. we don't do that at the moment. So we're gonna have to fix that. But for now, let's just get it dropping something. Let's just get it dropping something, just so we can make sure that it works on multiplayer. Because this is where the meat problem comes in. The widget is only on the client. Get owning player. Get pawn. How do we get the character from the controller? Get the character from the controller. Get controlled pawn. Get, and then cast to player character. We're going to get the, this is the payload's going to be the item, and then they're going to drop. So we don't have an actual like input for that yet. But if I did this correctly, let's go ahead and play with 3 clients. Let's first test on the server. Because if we can test locally, then everyone else is probably going to have an easier time. Let's test client. Okay. But you can see there's that latency. So we don't have any sort of client prediction stuff yet for dropping. Let's test on client 2. All right. Cool. Okay. Now, of course, we'll still make it so hitting Q works just the same. It's just, you know, I'm sure a player is going to be like, why is it that I can't drag and drop this shit out? And like when you're there reorganizing to drop items, I'm sure it's going to fucking happen. So I'm like, okay, let's improve the user experience right off the bat and just fucking... Okay, anyways, moving on. We should probably get started on dropping the specific item that the person wants to drop. Yes, of course. This is gonna be fun. You create it beforehand to hide it off screen below the map and then just move it when it's dropped from the inventory. It could be faster. I am going to do some client prediction stuff later, so that'll fix the feeling of delay for the client. It's because everything's being run through the server. So yeah. But we'll get to that later on. I don't think that's necessarily optimization. That's just more so client prediction shit. Client, whatever the fuck, whatever you want to call it. Client, whatever. Client side shits. You guys hear that? That was my stomach. I'm really hungry. I've been notified by my insides that I'm extremely hungry. It's like getting a fucking text on your screen in-game. You are now hungry. Oh my god. Thank you, stomach. Thank you for the notification. Holy moly. I have an in real life thirst meter. How does that work? Hold on, chat. Give me a second. Okay. So let's drop the actual proper item. So we'll get the item index. This will be the actual item that the player wants to drop. And then when we start doing things like equipping items and stuff, we'll just set which item to drop from here. For now, Q will just be the 0 item, which is the first item. In our case, though, our item index is actually, we're going to send that information through the drag and drop operation. Okay. And then in here, we're going to want to, well, we need to tell it which item index we are, which... Great. Well, okay, fuck it. We'll just make it a variable. I can't be fucking bothered to do this in a different way. I'm just gonna do this here. Don't care. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and last but not least, 5. You got it. So now what we can do is we can get the item index You know what kind of sucks about this though is yeah, well, this might have some issues. It's okay though. You know, it might not be because the item in yeah, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Oh, so if we drop this one, yep. It currently it orders itself, so we will change that. That's the entire idea with the drag and drop, is being able to drag and drop stuff here and whichever slots, and then being able to drop it. But the drag and dropping is dropping the right thing, I think. Wait, hold on. Client, go over here. All right. We're in business, kind of. So here's the problem. We've now associated the item index on the slot itself, which is incorrect. When in reality, we need to rename this. Rename this. This will become hotbar index, because the way that we're going to do this is going to be very different. Yeah. The way that we're going to do this is going to be very, very, very different down the line. Okay, for now it's fine, but when we start doing sorting system stuff, you know, it's gonna be pretty fucking gnarly. Maybe they can hand like on offhand that has whatever tool or something in it, or will that be the same hotbar? I think the hotbar will just be whatever you're selecting, and then that'll be it. So you'll be able to scroll wheel to whichever item you want to use and stuff, and then you can still click Q to like just drop it there. But this is just an additional thing that you can do, right? Because I'm sure players are gonna start dragging shit around to organize it, which we will get to that at some point. So yeah. Yep. So now the part that is scary. Organizing the items. Organizing the items. God. Okay. This is where the headaches begin. Have you made it to where you can't have too many items yet? I have not changed that yet, actually. It's still on my to-do list. Limited inventory size. Right now, you can pick up as many items as you want. So, have not done that just yet. Selecting specific slot, selecting hands-free, drop current selected slot, hitting tab to open mouse cursor input. So that's done. Will there be a way to expand their inventory size? Maybe like backpacks or something. Like I could see that being pretty cool. Currently, no. Everything is currently hard-coded to these slots, which I didn't want to do. Don't get me wrong. I didn't want to do this. So in the future, we will probably change this for sure to be more dynamic. So yeah, but currently it's just 5 hard-coded slots, but we'll definitely change that, I think, without a doubt. Without a doubt. He's slowly making a survival game? Well, if you think about it, friend swap games are kind of survival games. Like, they definitely are. At their core, they are survival games. None of the ones I played had inventory sorting. It's because they're not this good. I'm sure most players might not even use this, so, you know, whatever. But we still need to keep... The one thing we need, though, is if I drop this red item, the green item should not move to the left. It should stay in its current slot. That is... I guess the next piece of the puzzle. So where do we do the dropping code for the HUD? Drop item from inventory, update player inventory UI. So we do something really stupid. We refresh the entire inventory, which is not great. What I'd like to do instead it's almost like I need to keep track of which, I guess that'd be the index. Hotbar index. So this would be the index, I think. And what we would do is then do a get, where we do this, get child at, delete this, delete. We're going to want to get the inventory. And then we need to associate the data asset. Inventory system from scratch. It's not like anything crazy, right? This is nothing crazy, chat. Come on, guys, come on. But I will say, I need more caffeine. This just fucking... Oh, I will say one thing. I feel like I need more caffeine, without a doubt. I need more... Put it in my veins. Like, this is fucked. This is some gnarly shit, I will say. Yeah, some gnarly shit. Yup. Yep. Okay. What you cooking, Gup? What kind of game is this? It's a friend slop game. Friend sloppish game. It's kind of sloppy-ish. Sloppish. Don't talk about food. You'll make him end stream. Real. Real. When I get hungry, let me tell you, I gotta go. We gotta make the slot system. Oh, fuck. No, there's gotta be an easier way of doing this. If I run naked through town and scream the game title, would you give me 1% of the 0.9% of the game? No. No. Sounds like you need to draw it down on paint. Sounds like I just need a better way of doing this because I'm stupid. Vibe code it. You motherfuckers are psychos. God, this is annoying. I'm starting to think the inventory just needs null slots. Like, that would that be the easiest way of doing any of this? We just have 6 null slots on the inventory, on the replicated inventory. But then the thing is, no, because then we're doing it on the server, and I don't want to do that on the server. We don't need to sort the inventory on the server. It's like unnecessary. Ask in the Unreal forums. I know what needs to be done. I just need to figure out how to do it in the proper way. So here's the problem. Okay, I'll show you guys what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm picturing, okay? The server keeps track of the items, right? Makes sense, right? It does not keep track of where it is in your inventory, though. And I don't think it needs to. What it keeps track of is your items from 0 to 5. The problem is, let's say you have an item here, an item here, and an item here. If you remove this item, no. If you remove this item, the problem is, if we were to keep track of these using numbers, this gets index 2 in the inventory. This gets index 1 in the inventory, and index 0. The problem is, if 1 becomes nothing, what ends up happening is this now needs to be updated as 1. This is now 1. And this is nothing. This is -1, because -1 would be our like empty null number. Oh. So, we'd have to update, retroactively update these whenever things start becoming different. Why not shift it? I just don't like the idea. Like, look at what happens when you shift it. It just kind of looks ugly. And let's say you have something equipped in like hotbar 4 and then you remove something. Now you no longer have it equipped because it moved to the left. And I feel like that just doesn't look very nice. And I feel like that wouldn't feel very nice as a player playing around with that. Like, obviously, I don't care too much about it. We could probably make do without it right now. But does Peek keep items in the slots? I'm not sure. Yeah, we do. So I've started the key value pair. The problem is we'd have to consistently keep track. The smarter thing would be making the inventory. No, I honestly think I'd be curious to do this. It'd be an interesting programming challenge. Maybe not like the smartest way of doing it, but... And we can't hold a reference to the object, right? We can't hold a reference to the object, and the reasoning for that is because you could have multiple of one object. But I guess we don't care which order. Well, no, we would if we end up doing any sort of durability shits. Which, to be fair, that's going to be a whole slew of problems on its own. That's going to be a headache on its own. What if we do... wait, okay, hold on. Hear me out. What if we do have a bunch of empty values in here? It's just when we shift things around in the slot organization, we don't care where it is. The server keeps track of this, but it doesn't keep track of where it actually is visually. So then that way, if we remove an item from here and set it to null, it's not going to magically destroy the slot organization. That might become quite hectic though. So maybe that's not the best way of doing it. You objects aren't replicated by default. I'm using data assets. It took 129 KC for a steel ring from deranged archaeologist. That's a fun time. I have not played OSRS in a while, and honestly, even though Sailing came out, I'm just kind of like, yeah, you know, it's fine. I'll play later, maybe, if I care for it enough. So can we have empty null objects in the inventory? I don't know. You can have an invalid object type, which you assign to an empty slot. Well, I would think it would just be, I think null is fine as long as we don't try to access null and try to do anything with it, obviously. Do we care if organizing gets called to the server? Like, I feel like that's not great, putting organization on the server side. Because it's just more work. Now, I guess it doesn't matter too much for us. It says just keep inventory and GUI separate. Player can interact with the GUI and then GUI sends instructions in inventory with what player they requested. Swap slot 1 or 2 or add item to the slot. Yeah, well, it is kind of separate. It's just, well, it is separate for sure. It has to be because inventory is client side only. Let me see. Hold on. I wonder how other people are doing inventory management, but in multiplayer. What is this person doing? I don't know if this person has slot organization. Item name, item index, X stack. No, I don't think so. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be interesting. No, Hellcat, the so that's why this is becoming, that's why I'm thinking about it a little bit more. The inventory is server side. Right? It is server side. I don't know if we need this on rep notify. Like, I don't think we need it anymore, actually, now that I think about it. Especially considering how we're going to do this. Oh, that's why. It's because we do it for updating, which is technically not correct, but the only thing we want to do is sorting, like sorting your inventory, like how you, where you want to move shit. I would want to do that locally. So here's, okay, here's how I'm picturing it. I don't know if this is very good for the server. We're going to have 6 null empty spots. Okay. And what we'll do is the slot organization is going to assign itself to a specific value that's on the server, and then it's going to tell the client, and then the client can reorganize it however they want to. That's kind of what I'm picturing right now. No, sorting is, I think of sorting as in like the player manually moving shit in their hotbar. That kind of sorting, not like a sorting as in not other stuff. Okay. Well, let's get started with doing. Okay, let's start with this. First off, when we pick up an item, let's just get straight from the very beginning. When we pick up an item, add item to inventory, we want to I'm going to call it client. So then that way I remember in my brain where this would go. Client slot organization. Okay. I'm going to cut this because we don't want that right now. We don't want to affect any rep notify stuff. Add item to inventory, add. So we actually don't want to add because what's going to end up happening is all of these empty slots, it's going to shift it over here. So what we need to do is find, it's going to be really stupid. Find item, finds the index of the first instance of the item, empty. It's going to be null. Okay. Then we are going to, I forget how to do a set in array. It's been a while. Set array element. There we go. Index item. So when we add an item to the inventory, instead of removing or whatnot, we're going to instead play around with setting the array element. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to add a breakpoint here. And I'm going to play this locally for now because I don't care too much about the other stuff. So this should be index 0 and then the item. The next one when we... Oh, great. The next one should be index 1. Okay. Good. So that's correct. I know the UI isn't updating. It's because we haven't done any of the UI update stuff. Oh, so just make it a struct and give it one item spot in inventory. 3, just make it an array of this said struct, and then you can read it from the GUI. And if you want to expand items with more data. Wait, I forgot. You know what? Okay, that does bring a good point. In C++, you can specify certain variables to be replicated and certain variables to not be replicated, right? Can't you literally do that? Wait, I remember reading that. Now, I don't know how that works in Blueprint. Don't know how that would work in Blueprint. I think we'd have to create some getters and setters in C++. Okay, let's just do this for now. I think I'm getting somewhere in here. Luckily, we only have like 5 or 6 items in an array, so it's not like hundreds of items. It is not hundreds of items, so I think we should be fine. Hold on, let me process this in my brain. So we add the item, we add it to the slot. The client slot organization we're going to do it this way. I'm going to use the slot organization. No, we should use... No. Anything that's replicated should be on the replicated side. What we'll do here is... we'll find the first negative one, which means that should become the thing. And then we're going to set... Oh wait, can you not set a where would we do that on a map? If something already used the provided key will be overridden with a new value. Ah, okay. So we want key. The key will be the index. I almost want to turn this into a function, actually. Because if I call this and then set array element and then add this, or maybe we can add it and then set it, and then that's fine. Okay. Hold on, I know it's taking me a second here. Hold on. I think I might want to make some like helper stuff on the widget. I think I'm gonna want to do that. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. I think I'm complicated more than this needs to be, but I'm also trying to think of it from the multiplayer to client side to an extent. Oh, here's an idea. The hotbar slot could keep track of yeah, the slot, the UI slot could keep track of which reference it actually is in the inventory. And that could be one way of doing stuff. The other alternative is we say fuck the little slot thingy and instead we just swap shit around on the inventory. I would like to not do that, but well, let's just get the slots working first. So, where's my where were we doing that? On the controller, update player inventory UI. So what we want to call instead is the update inventory slot UI. Let's just do inventory index. We'll get a copy. And then this is just sending information. Even though technically we just directly send the data asset, but I think I might feed which inventory slot this is to the hotbar slot. I think we're going to send that information. Definitely making this a lot harder than it needs to be. Don't get me wrong, okay? Don't get me wrong. So now in the thing, in the inventory, we're going to do item inventory, update inventory slot. Okay. Hotbar index is going to be so let's do current. I should probably make this a struct, but whatever. Current inventory item and current slot index. So this is the inventory index. I know, it's getting real fucking confusing. And then we want to get the current slot index, which would be I'm having a rough time with this right now. This is the current slot index. I'm getting lost in the sauce right now. I'm getting lost in this. Yes, current slot index. That's the one. And then that's the current inventory index. And then we put the thing in the thing. Put the thing in the thing. Yes. Yes, programmer slop. It's literally, it is programmer slop. Okay, and then the hotbar index is the current slot index, but then the inventory index is the inventory index. And then okay. 5 push-ups? All right, fine. I'll do 5 push-ups. All right, fine. Okay, fine. Okay. All right. We figured it out. Update inventory slot UI. Okay, so now if I pick up items again, I will pick up the item. 1, 2. I'm pretty sure. So we have the key, which is like the thing, and then the value, which is the item. And then we set the current inventory index to the thing. Let me see if hitting I still works. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's okay, that's just when we print string. That's fine. No problem, no problem, no problem. No problem, no problem. It's okay. I'm a professional. But, why is it, why is it not adding it to the right? Yeah, hold on. Current slot index. Wait. So it should be 0, and then 1. Okay. And then 1. Okay. Is add not working? Is something already used the provided key will be overrun with a new value. After calling key is guaranteed to be associated with the value until a subsequent mutation of the map. Whatever the fuck that means. This guy's speaking a different language. Oh, no, don't tell me. Oh, shit. We call add item to inventory from local and the server, but the server does not know. Well, okay, no, that's not true because currently we're testing on the server, so this should technically work here. Why does the slot index keep being 0? Find the value associated with the provided key. Wait, hold on. Everybody calm down. I don't know why it's not working. We have the key, current slot index. Oh wait, this is returning the value. Oh, well, what? No, not find. Find is not what we want then. Wait, what? Find the value associated with the provided key. No, I want to find a value, not a key, with the value. How do you do the reverse? How do I find a value? Given a map and an index, return a copy of the key and value found at that index. What's confusing though is it sets it as 0. Finds the value associated with the provided key. Maps. You have to iterate the array. Oh, map has a function? What's the function? To find, because this finds a, this goes through and finds a key and then spits out the value. I want it to find a value and then spit out the key. I want it to do the inverse. But I don't see a function that does the inverse. Contains gives us a boolean. And it also only contains key when I want to find a value. So I think we do have to go through the values. So. Luckily, though, I think I'm realizing I need to do I think I'm fucking myself over from a multiplayer standpoint by doing this stuff here. I think I might have to I'm honestly starting to think we just replicate which slot things are in and just say fuck it. Like, whatever. When you move a slot, we'll just move it on the server too. Yeah. We're just going to do it on the server. I'm probably going to have to refactor this in the future. I probably will. I probably will have to refactor this because I'm sure there could be some sort of cost to this. But I'm saying, fuck it. Oh wait, hold on, I need that one. Delete that one. Whatever. Probably will have to refactor it because this technically means someone can lag the game by just swapping shit in and it would just be on the server. All right. Current inventory index. Update inventory slot UI. We no longer need the hotbar index. Actually, we'll just keep the hotbar index. Yeah, it's the same. Should pay with your health when you swap things. No, we won't pay with your health. Swapping this item will cost you 5 health. Watch it, buddy. Though we could make it a gameplay element. We could make it a gameplay element. Swapping things around takes time, and it's almost like you're swapping your like work, your belt and shit. And then swapping items maybe takes a bit of time. I don't know. I'm just coming up with random shit now. No, I'm just saying some shit. Now I'm just saying things. Okay, so now it should work. We should be able to pick up an item, another item, and another item. Now, what we want to do is inventory slot UI. Okay, set item data. So here is the next step of the puzzle, okay? It's very interesting because we have an item, add item to inventory, but we don't have our drop code in here. Why not? Why do we not have... Oh, it's a function. Drop item from inventory. Okay, so is valid index is true. Item to drop. Get item index. Remove index. So we want to change remove index. And then instead we want to set the array element of the thing that we're setting to null, to just no item. This should be fine. I don't think it should yell at us for having nothing inside of the thing. But it should work. Now let me see. I don't know if that might not be enough to get it going right off the bat. Let's see. Now, the only problem is we are replicating the sorting now. That's not exactly ideal, but let's just make sure it works on the client. Pick up an item, pick up an item, pick up an item, pick up an item. Let me pick up an item. Okay. I don't know how. We've had perfect RNG. Everything is a fucking cube. Let me double check. Everything is indeed a cube. Are you for real, Unreal? Randomness. Okay, so let's drop the green item. So update player inventory UI is actually fine. But obviously it'd be more ideal if we just update the right thing. There's contains and finds, which returns the key by value. Yes, find returns the key. We want it the other way around. Contains only returns a boolean, which we want it to actually give us the actual value that it found. Okay. Now the problem comes in. Sorting. Sorting has to be done on the client and on the server, which is really flippin'. That's really stupid. It's really dumb, but if it works, it works. I might just piss myself, though. Do we need sorting? That looks fine to me. I feel like now that we have the drag and drop, we kind of have to. You know, now that we have the drag and dropping, it's almost like we have to do it. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot by doing this. We don't have to do it right now, don't get me wrong. But I kind of want to. So, read my last message. It'll be like a real-time strategy game and you need to pull out the drill. It'll take 3 hours to pull out the drill. It might. Hey, maybe that's the some items maybe take a while to pull out. Do you think that because cuff bust is a thing that means I can't do my prison escape game? Nah, man, just fucking do whatever you want to do, man. As long as it's not like literally ripping shit from it and copying it outright, you're fine, man. If we lived in a world where any sort of one entity that was even slightly a specific style or genre, and that meant you literally cannot do it, no one would be allowed to do anything. No one would be allowed to do anything. By the way, mapping is same in C++. Tmap is a hash map optimized for fast key lookup. I'm just doing it the stupid way where sorting will be run on the server as well. And you know what that means? GMC has a 30% sale on Fab. If you're still considering buying, oh my god, it's a perfect time. How long is the sale for? Until December 1st. Shit. Perfect time. It's a good thing I didn't buy it yet. How about Smooth Sync? Oh, Smooth Sync is not on sale, but that's fine. I'll still pick that up. Yeah, perfect timing. I will definitely pick that up. Thank you for letting me know. The next 10 minutes, buy now? Oh my god. When they said flash sale, they really meant it. My accountant's gonna see all my spending this year, and he's gonna be like, what the hell happened? It's all tax write-off, baby. It's all tax write-off. How much is it? 900 Canadian? Okay. God, this is stupid. Custom event. Server move item to slot. Oh. I don't even want to run this as reliable. But if I don't run it as reliable, there's a chance that... See, this is what I mean. Doing this on the server is stupid. It's really stupid. But... Is GMC just for movement? I know someone that's using it for everything, including inventory. I don't know. I just know at least in movement. I don't know about inventory. I don't know about inventory. Why is it that much? I don't know, because it's like a really integral, important plugin that you technically only need to purchase once forever, and then you can use it for a ton of projects. Hightail's adding visual scripting? Oh shit. That's kind of massive. Okay, so... So, what if we don't run the custom event on reliable, and then the player moves a slot somewhere else? God, I hate this. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna backlog this feature. I think. I think we're gonna backlog the idea of moving shit around for now. We are going to backlog this for now. This works. It works for now. Whatever items you were using stays where it was. Very good. So like that's no big deal. The problem right now though is getting that to work on client side and multiplayer is just gonna be a fucking pain in the ass. Like I can make it so we can move the slot around, no problem. But then getting it to work on multiplayer and the chances of it like potentially rollbacking is very high. And I definitely do not want to deal with it rollbacking. Let me tell you. Definitely don't want to deal with that. But I think that's more than enough. I think now, or the next step, which I'm probably going to do off stream because I'm really hungry, is selecting which item you actually want selected and pulling it out and equipping it in your hand. Yeah. But this the system we have going for sorting the slots, not a good idea. Doing the whole empty thing, like unless we can find a way to trust the player that they're just swapping shit around, then it doesn't matter. But I don't know how other games are doing it. Like Tarkov, there's no way Tarkov is letting the player swap items around and then the swapping is done on the server, right? There's no way swapping items on Tarkov, moving shit around in your inventory, does it on the server. There's no way. There's no fucking way. It's definitely done on the server in a lot of games. If you open someone's inventory on the body, the inventory is exactly the same as the client. You would think so, Thomas, that it would just be the items that they own, but it seems like some games would also replicate the actual location of where it is in their inventory. If that's the case, shit. That's crazy. Maybe they do it when they die. Maybe. I do remember a bit of lag when moving items around in the stash, though. Which makes me wonder, are they also replicating and or doing server calls when you're moving shit around in the stash? I'm sure they have client-side predictions. But then what if... Okay, so my question then is, let's say you do an RPC call that's non-reliable to move shit around in the inventory. How do you make sure that it still gets called that they moved it? So that they don't feel like they just got screwed over. I guess we can do a check on the server. It's like, hey, did that item exist in the original inventory? If so, let's just validate it on the server and then just set it and fuck it. It'll be all. Streamer. New game, kind of, not really. Non-reliable inventory movement. It's just, I don't want to fucking put that on reliable. Server override if it's not acceptable. I think the only time we would check if it's not acceptable is if the item does not exist on the server side. And then we just accept it if it exists on the server side, right? You know what I mean? Like, it would check the array. So then that way we make sure, hey, they didn't just try to move an item that they cheat engined onto their fucking inventory. You know what I mean? It needs to be reliable. You don't want to click and it doesn't move. That's the thing, though, is if we do a bunch of shit on reliable, that's not good. We're going to end up with fucking networking issues real quick. Well, we're going to end up with big problem real quick. You can have 50 reliable RPCs per second per connection. The problem is if we do this locally, where we do a reliable check to move shit around, my spatial inventory uses reliable for most of its inventory functions. How do you stop a player from, like, I don't know, finding a way to script themselves just spamming inventory move operations? What are you trying to do? Yeah, we've been like pondering how so at first I was going to make it so the inventory was just whatever you have in your inventory, and then the client keeps track of the client then keeps track of like where the item is actually. But then I was like, oh fuck that. And then so what we're now doing is we have a bunch of, I don't know if you guys can see that, we have a bunch of empty slots which define the empty slot in the inventory. and then we just assign it to the actual inventory, the actual slot. And that's what we're doing now. So yeah. It's a co-op game with friends, so I don't care if someone does that. Yeah, I guess we could just do that too. What's this? Cool, man. Yeah, I'll just make it work. Fuck it. Whatever. So we'll just set the array element and then update the inventory slot from index. So we'll get a copy of from index to index, and then the from index, then the from index will then be set to nothing. Or, well, we don't want to do any swapping calls right now, but the way to avoid a player overloading the buffer is ordering your frame of when it sends RPCs and what data it sends. So near the end of the frame, the inventory system would send a batch of requests and keeps that request in a history buffer until it receives confirmation from the server that it was successful. As anytime the player locally wants to send the request and it's already in that batch, and then the new request is discarded because it's already in flight across the network. What? What? What the hell? What the shit? Okay, update inventory slot UI hotbar index. What if we just inventory? I swear we just have an update player inventory. We'll just do a full-on update across all of them. Open the C++. It's time to go full hacker mans. Guys, I don't know how I feel about that. Move index to index. Okay. Okay. Move index to index. Okay. So I want to try this locally first. The move index to index. Okay. So the hotbar, so the drag drop operation, the hotbar index. Okay, so that's correct. And then in the oh shit. Okay, on drop. Okay. So and then in here we're gonna want the drag drop hotbar drag drop operation. We're gonna take this hotbar index and then this current hotbar index, and then we're going to okay, wait, hold on. Where's the drop box? And I'm not talking the file website thingy. Okay. This is fucked. Okay. So this is, I know I said I would put this on the back burner, but I refuse to let go of this stupid feature. So the hotbar index. So in here we want to get the inventory. And then we want to swap, wait, no, move index to index. Yes. Yes. Oh, you know what we could do? We can move the item from the, we can do swapping. Wait, we can do the swapping. So, whatever the 2 index is then gonna go to the item. And now we have the swappler. Oh my god. Swap. Oh my god, we got it. Dropped in slot. Okay, compile. Let's check it out. Do it on the server first. Okay, so move this here, then here, and then here. And then we should be able to swap this to this. Okay, guys, I duped an item. Ladies and gentlemen, we have duped the item. Okay, so I'm going to assume... Please tell me set array element with an empty sets it as empty, please. Okay. I think this is doing a valid check. There's no way. Don't tell me I have to do like this, right? But select does a reference call, which is surprising. I think this would break. I don't think that's going to work. How do I get just a null reference? How do I do a select but without ref? Oh shit. Well, I guess we could do it this way. If false, do this. If true, do this. This is stupid. But whatever. If it works, it works, right? If it works, it works. Okay. All right. So now, okay. So Now here's what I'm thinking. Okay, so we put the thing in the thing, and then we put the thing, and then this goes here, and it still duped it. You motherfucker. To index get. Oh, no wonder it is set to valid. Because it is being set to valid after the fact. Wait, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Wait, no, it's not. Wait, yes. No, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. We need to get the, prior item. So that means I should be able to just do this and then do prior item. There we go. Now, okay, now we do it again. Okay. Swap. Swapping. Oh shit. Okay, so now the problem with the client is that they can pick up shit and they can probably swap it, but the instant they pick up an item, the server is going to override it with its version. So we could probably swap it. We can swap it, but then once I pick up an item, it's going to... What? Hmm. I think that's just the dropping button. It's broken. Kind of. What's interesting to see is that the move index to index it didn't update the way I thought it would. Let me wait, hold on. Let me try the client again. Test 2. I pick up 2 items. I move this item here, and then I pick up the green item. What? Okay, so I think it did what I was... Hold on. I'm processing. I think the local version overrode the server version. I think that's what happened. I think the local is staying local and not setting the server version. Okay, first let's fix dropping. The problem with dropping is it drops the first item index. But the thing is it does not check if it's valid. Wait, no, it does. The fuck? What? Wait, what? Is item valid? True. Oh, wait. It's always going to return a valid index because I guess is valid index, even though it's null, it's still gonna count it as a fucking thing. We need to do a double check. That's really stupid. That's really dumb. That should be correct. And now if I hit Q, it shouldn't just randomly spawn anything. All right, very good. Okay, client 1. Get back into the ring. You have many things to fix. Wait, no, let me pick up a white box. So, in theory, this should become red again. Because swapping is being done locally. When I pick this up, the green should be there, but for some reason it becomes green. But when I drop it, it's actually the red item. So it doesn't make any sense. Oh. Now, of course, we do need to move the item on the server. Currently, what we're doing, everything is being done locally. So I guess what we could do is just say fuck it and... move index to index. Okay. So on the character, we now need to do server move item to index. I think, yes. Run on server. It's a long ass crim stream. I regret being here. Why am I here? Doing multiplayer and shit. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm hungry. Everything sucks. I want another coffee. Is it the order of how it runs the code? It could be the order. It could be the order, yes. It could also just be the fact that the server is, server's doing some shit. Server's doing some shit. We're proud of you. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. Not many people say that in this chat room. Instead, they choose to make fun of me. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes I want to not. I hate you. Huh? Sometimes you guys are critics. You know, some really strong critics in here, okay? Is there an email I'm supposed to use if I want to share my opinion about the techniques and strategies the streamer is using? How do people normally do it? Well, that's a great question. I'm really glad you asked. I watch you to make myself feel more put together? What the hell? He's doing better. He's making friend slop. I am making friend slop. And I'm loving every bit of it, Jerry. Loving every bit of it, Jerry. Loving every bit of it, Jerry. Server player drop items. Server move items. Okay. Okay. So... we want to call on move index to index and server move items. And we're gonna see how this shit goes down. From index to index with instigator. Wait. Do we need the instigator? I guess. Okay, let's test this. Uno mas. I pick up the thing. I pick up the thing. I move the thing. I move the thing. I pick up the thing. Oh my god, it's working. I pick up the thing. I move the thing. I move the thing very quickly. I move it again. I move it again. I move it again. Move it again. Move it again. Move it again. Move it again here. Move it. I swap the swappler. Oh shit. Was there like a little... I couldn't tell. Oh shit, I could pick up. I forgot. It's working! It's working too well? Well, it's happening on the client side and the server side. So it's kind of like... It's kind of hiding things. What we could do, we can show this. Print string. Server moved item. So from this print string, we can determine how, like, the actual, like, delay of moving things. So I move this here. You see that slight... It's, like, not a crazy delay. But behind the scenes, it's happening. Now forget to save and do it all over again later. Luckily, all we have to save is the inventory. We should be fine. Now, can we do it without reliable? Do you guys think we should do it with reliable or without reliable? Eh, fuck it. Or maybe we just say reliable. Screw it. Let's test this with packet loss. 5% packet loss. Okay, 5% packet loss. Let's see what happens. 5% packet loss. Where did he go? Wait, where did he go? Oh, there he is. Oh my god. Oh my god. It kind of low-key disappeared a little bit. That was kind of funny. What the fuck? One of these is not real. Oh, there we go. It was that one. It was that one. I didn't dupe it. It just it just disappeared. It's not real. Whatever that thing was, not real. Okay, let's just set it to reliable and then regret it later, because you're not supposed to be doing that for everything, especially moving shit around. Okay, let's see if it still works with the reliable. The problem is okay, that being said, I believe the only clients that are actually receiving this information, because we set it up a little differently, the only clients that are actually receiving this information is the server and the client, the owning client. It does not care Why are they all just the red item? This is fucking stupid. So it's not like we're multicasting, right? So not too bad. So you're technically not duping any items because the server has to, the server at the end of the day is always authoritative on everything. All right. Okay. Well, you know what? I'll take it. And that's on like 100 MS to 200 MS and with packet loss. So I'll take it. Of course, though, abusing reliable, not exactly the most ideal thing ever. Yeah. Let the poor people think they're schizo. That should be a gameplay mechanic. We start scrambling people's inventories. That should be a monster. They just scramble your inventory and then run away and they're like, and then they disappear. You literally couldn't do shit. What's wrong with abusing reliable? You can someone remind me? You can overload the server, which will then cause everybody to lag and or potentially cause people to disconnect, or is that something else? Disconnection might be a verification thing. But I'm pretty sure disconnecting can be a byproduct of causing the server to overload or basically just fucking freeze, because then the server will try to catch up on all the reliable calls. That's why I'm thinking this is not a good idea. Not a great idea. To do, really need to remove this from reliable, but need a way to keep inventory inventory order consistent. Holy shit, a comment? Yeah. Oh shit, who the fuck typed this? Consistent. There we go. Okay, there you go. There you go. I fixed it. You're underestimating its power? I am, but also, like, we gotta remember, not only are we gonna have all of this stuff that we're currently doing, this is the most basic shit, just inventory. We then also need to keep track of where enemies are in the map. The players are gonna be doing events and, like, things on the train. We need to randomize events happening on the train, which, you know, is not that expensive. It's just going to happen on the server. And the only time they need to actually send information is when something happens. You can imagine it gets pretty, you know, it could get pretty gnarly, I'm sure, right? What I'm worried about is when everything starts coming together. I think, you know, only the player that spams the reliable gets lag. I don't think that's true. Even though this is not multicasting, it's still calling to the server. So I think that could still get pretty bad. It's per connection? Is that true? Then I guess if someone does spam items around, I guess it's not too bad. But I do think it would be good to figure out, like Yaw said, batching or something. Like, we only call the RPC when, I don't know, periodically, when it comes to moving items around. I think that would be a smart thing. Like, we really don't need to call move items constantly. If anything, maybe we could just verify it whenever you add a new item to your inventory. Just verify the sorting by just verifying if the items you moved around are actual items that you have. That could be one way of going about it. But for now, this, you know, I don't want to. I feel like the concept of pre-optimization can also apply to server networking. The server shouldn't be interested in your hotbar at all. In theory, yeah. Ideally. That would have been the ideal, is like the hotbar is literally local and that's it. I do think the moving items around definitely should probably just be like, we don't need to call that on the server. We'll just verify it next time they do something like dropping an item or picking up an item, and then we can just reorder it on the server side. But yeah. Tis what it is. We'll figure it out as we go. But for now, yeah, we'll just do it as reliable. Because fuck it. We put a comment to let us know, hey, stupid, how about you do this better? Hey, how about you make this in a better way? Why am I so scared of reliable? Because I know it's going to get really bad real quick. It's slop at the end of the day. Surely it'll be fine, right? I feel like people still hold a certain degree of quality with a friend slop, even though it is friend slop, right? And certain things might seem friend sloppy, like maybe the art or the visuals or maybe certain elements there. I feel like there's still like a you know, I feel like there's still like Peak was very buggy when it first came out. Friend slop I don't think is a tag on Steam. I don't remember what tags I put. I think one of them was online co-op, horror. I think funny was in there. Very similar to this. Yeah. I would rather not have issues, because then if, let's say we release and then a bunch of people are having fucking networking issues and whatnot, I don't want to go through that stress of, you know, going through that. I'd rather networking issues be as minimal as possible if we can. I feel like bugs are part of the charm. I think we'll have bugs in other places, like physics and other things. Like there's probably gonna be bugs in the physics, but I'd rather like other stuff, like you getting disconnected out of a game and shit like that. That stuff is not fun. You know what I mean? I think those kind of issues are not fun. You know what I mean? That gets in the way. Yeah. That's the funniest thing. I just kept getting disconnected. Couldn't even play the game. 4 hours of networking issues. Anyways, thanks for dropping by. It's a 5-hour stream. Don't know how I did it. Inventory, very cool. It's working. We can move shit around. We can drop it. Okay. Hold on. one second. Hold on. Hold on. Wow, what you got there, Jimmy? All right. Like I said, have a great day. Thanks for dropping by. It's like nothing ever happened. Here, I'll add slop. All right, fine. I'll add slop. We got 600 emote slots. I'll see you guys. Tune in, you leave. Hey, that sounds like a you problem. I'm hungry, and I want a coffee, and would you provide that? Do I know 3D modeling? Yeah, a little bit. Do you think I should dive headfirst into a small project, or is it a must that I must follow a tutorial to beforehand? Just do what you want to do. Launch your memory. Do what you want to do. Whatever gets you to open up the engine, or whatever thing you're opening, and gets you to learn and do shit, that's what you should do. Whatever makes you want to open the thing and work on stuff. But also, whenever you get into a struggle with something, that means it's just something new to learn, right? So it's fine. Anyways, that's it. I'm not going to tell you to make a small game or do whatever fucking... Make Pong. You should make Snake. No, I think that shit sucks ass, and you probably don't find that fun. So I'd say just get in there and do whatever the fuck you want to do, because whatever you're doing, you're probably learning something, and that's fine. Anyways, I'm moving on. Have a great day. Thanks for dropping by. I'll see you guys possibly tomorrow, maybe? I don't know. I think. End the stream before you get canceled. Anyways, I gotta pay my utility bill. See you guys later. Yeah. Okay, goodbye.